Hi everyone, I'm Kate Kalthoff. Welcome to a Stamping to Share video. I'm so excited to share this card with you because it's so easy to put together and it looks so elegant. We're going to make a graduation card, but you could leave off the graduation sentiment and make a card that looks like this. Just a congrats card that you could use for almost any occasion that requires a congratulations. We're using the Sunshine Sayings stamp set and the coordinating framelits, Sunshine Wishes thinlits, and these can actually be purchased as a bundle through the end of May of 2016, and then they're going to continue on into the new catalog, but at that point you will not be able to save 10% on the bundle. So the Sunshine Sayings has lots of different sayings, and then of course a few little splotches and flower, and then of course the coordinating thinlits. Now you can see on the card that I have 3 of the thinlits missing from here on the card. Well, it's on a Big Shot platform right now, so I'll be showing you that in a little bit, but let's go ahead and get started creating this card. I think you're going to love it. This is the front side of it, and this is what it looks like on the inside. So fresh and pretty. I just love the colors. We're using Bermuda Bay, Pacific Point, and Crushed Curry on this card. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with a card base. This is 4 1/4 by 11 inches, scored at 5 1/2. So we're going to take a bone folder here. I'm going to fold along the score line and give that a nice press. And then we can start layering up. So the first layers that we're going to want to put on our card are 2 layers of Pacific Point. These are both cut the same size. We have a 3 7/8 inch by 5 1/8 inch layer. And so again, you'll need 2 of those. One's going to go on the inside panel and one will go on the outside panel. But before we actually attach those to our card base, we are going to want to add another layer. We are going to need 2 of these. This is Crushed Curry, and the measurements are 2 by 5 1/8. And so again, you'll need 2 of these in Crushed Curry, 2 by 5 1/8. And what we're going to do is we're just going to glue these down onto our panel. So I'm using multi-purpose liquid glue, and we're going to glue the first one down like so. And it doesn't really matter. They can just be glued onto the panel so that we end up with 2 panels that will look the same at the moment. So let's go ahead and do that to this one as well. And I'll just scoot this on here. I love multi-purpose liquid glue, especially with my Stampin' Up! Cardstock. Gives me a little bit of time to wiggle it into place. All right, so now one of these panels we'll be putting on the outside of our card, and we can go ahead and put that on right now. And then the other panel we're going to put on the inside of our card. So here's the outside of the card, and we'll get that so all 4 borders are nice and even. And then we're going to open this up, and because we have the yellow on the bottom, we're actually going to flip it and put the yellow on the top for the inside layer. So let me go ahead again and use a little multi-purpose liquid glue. We'll add this to our inside layer. And again, just want to make sure all 4 borders are nice and even. Just kind of wiggle that into place, give it a second to set, and we're ready to go with our next layers. Now the next layer is going to, this is where we're going to do some serious stuff here. We're going to do a little stamping. So let me show you what you need. Again, we'll need 2 of the same size layers in Whisper White, 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. So let's go ahead and do our stamping for the inside panel. We are just going to stamp the flower with Crushed Curry ink about right here. And then we're going to take in Pacific Point ink, So Happy For You, just like that. Then we can go ahead and using our snail, we will just put this right here on the inside of our card. And then the inside part of our card is complete. So we have that all done, and it was so easy, and it looks so pretty. All right, so now for the outside part, we need to grab the Big Shot machine, and I've already done this for you, but let me show you how I layered it up. I took the magnetic platform, and then I have my cut plate, and I put some scraps of paper down. For the congrats, I used Tempting Turquoise. For the little butterfly, I used Bermuda Bay. And then for the flower, I used crushed curry. And then, of course, I had another cut plate over the top and ran it through the Big Shot machine. And when you remove everything, you can see. Now, of course, you could use your die brush for this, but actually it came out so easy for me, I don't even need to bother. And this one as well. Let me grab my paper piercing tool. And I can just take the tool and get one little piece here started. And again, that pulls out just beautifully. And then our last piece on the Tempting Turquoise is the congrats. So we'll get this started here. And we'll pull this away. And again, we have it absolutely perfect. This die just works so beautifully. I made over 50 of these cards for our recent On Stage. It's a demonstrator event that Stampin' Up! Puts on, and it was so much fun, and everybody loved the cards, so I'm happy to share it now with my customers. So now I'm going to adhere this to my card. So again, I'm just going to make a little pile of glue here on my silicone mat. Then I'm going to take a sponge that I just have a binder clip attached to, and we're going to start gluing this down. I think what I'd like to do here is start with the congrats. And again, I'm just putting little touches of glue onto the congrats. And then we're going to go ahead and put this onto our Whisper White panel right here. And I want to leave a little room here at the bottom so that I can put Graduate. In fact, I'll do that right now. So I'm just going to ink up the word Graduate with Pacific Point ink, and I'm just going to stamp this right here. I wanted to do that right now just in case I would have messed that up, but as you can see, fortunately, it turned out really well. So now let's go ahead and we'll put the butterfly and the flower on. So we'll put the flower on next. So again, I'm just going to take this little sponge here, and we are just going to sponge a little bit onto this flower. And we're going to set it onto our paper. So we'll just set it right here so it goes off at an angle. And we're going to trim this even with the card in a little bit. And then the very last thing to do is the butterfly. So again, it looks like I'll need a little more glue for that. Not a lot, but we're going to take the sponge and again add a little bit of glue to this butterfly. Now we can take that butterfly and we're just going to set him, oh, got him upside down. Let me flip that around. We want the bigger part of the wings to the top. There we go. So now we have the butterfly on, we have our flower on, we have our congrats on, we have our graduate on. So now let's just do some finishing touches here and we'll put this all onto our card front. So I'm going to flip this around. I'm going to use some snail to adhere this to the front of the card. Add a little, let me bring my silicone mat in here. Add a little bit to the stem. And then we're going to just center this in to the front of the card, just like so. All right, look how good that looks. Now we can just take our paper snips and we'll just go ahead and trim that stem so that it's nice and even with the card. And to add the finishing touches, we just need some rhinestones, and then we're going to draw an antenna onto this butterfly. So I have some rhinestones here. Now these are sold out from Stampin' Up! It's not that they're not carrying rhinestones. They're going to be bringing them back into our product line. They're just going to reconfigure them. So I took a large rhinestone to put at the bottom of the C. Then I'm going to take a medium-sized rhinestone and we'll add this about right here, kind of up where this flower is. And then I'm going to reach in and grab a strand of 3 little rhinestones and we're going to put this onto the body of the butterfly. And then just to add a little finishing touch to the butterfly, I'm going to take an Island Indigo marker, and we're just going to do a little antenna for our butterfly. And our card is complete. Here's what it looks like, all finished and gorgeous. So here's the card I just did, and here's the card I had done in advance. I truly appreciate that you stopped in to watch my video today. Thank you so much. If you'd like to place a product order with Stampin' Up, you can visit my blog at www.stampingtoshare.com, and I have so many tutorials and ideas over there for you. I hope you'll join me. Have a great day. I truly appreciate you. Bye-bye.